Greetings to all the viewers and listeners. Welcome to the first official episode of IILMnary Talks. Today I have with me Miss Richa Sahni. She's an investment banker. And before I move on to my first question, here's a little bit about ma'am. You see, some people are very disorganized. Me. But then some people are very well structured. They plan their entire day, their entire week, in fact. And that is where my first question comes in, ma'am. You seem like a person who likes things organized, like things scheduled, like things a certain way. Do you think that is what made you choose the career path that you chose? Or what else is it that made you feel that you should be an investment banker?
Thank you so much, Kinjalk, for having me here in this show, first of all. Um, Honestly, never thought about it so deeply. I guess you just observed it and put it on the table. Uh, Getting into investment banking was more so coming from a banker's and a lawyer's background and less of being organized or being more disciplined. However, this is more to do with how we have been brought up, being more disciplined, organized, and have things in a certain way. So maybe, yeah, that is where I come from. Coming from the, background of bankers and lawyers. That's how I just ended up into this. Yeah, that's where it is coming from.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense actually. So, going back to school, because you see, I'm in college right now, right? So, you must have also done your college, your basic preliminary studies,
Yes.
right? So, what subject did you like the most back then?
Oh, well, lovely. I used to love biology.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I never took that up as one of my key subjects because I wanted to enter into engineering and, doing MBBS was out of my purview at that point in time. However, from a learning point of view, biology was one of my favorite subjects.
Okay. So, what I understand right now is you're an investment banker who loved biology and then wanted to do engineering. So, you're sort
Yeah.
of the jack of all,
Yes.
but also master of some, which is
Yes.
pretty great, right?
Yes.
So, my question here is how do you manage so many hobbies and interests, and what other hobbies that you have besides the academic ones?
Well, I love to play. So back in days, I used to play for my, college into basketball. So I was a basketball player. I have been actively involved into, playing table tennis or maybe golf these days is where I, prefer to spend my time more. I am also actively involved into reading. Mostly because I am into such profile wherein I have to read a lot. It involves a lot of keeping oneself updated on what is happening into the markets, on international trade, how the portfolios would be moving. So yeah, most of my time would go into these activities. And yes, I love to also stay involved into dancing. So I am into keep myself occupied into salsa or maybe cha-cha-cha, these dances also.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. In fact, I would love to play table tennis with you sometime.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we have a table here. We'll do that after
Yeah,
the
sure.
podcast, maybe. So you see, you're doing so many things,
Yeah.
right? You have so many interests. But then I have always understood that investment banking is a career where you have to be very serious and you have to be surrounded by technical stuff, Excel
Yeah.
sheets and everything, like time occupying stuff.
Yes.
So how do you manage my simple question is work-life balance. How is it in your life?
That's a very valid question. See, what happens is when you start your career, for first 10 years, for any industry that you get into, it involves a lot of your, bandwidth and a lot of your focus only into developing your career and getting to know what is your interest area. So it was similar for me to understand and to develop myself to, have or create the skill set, to sharpen the skill set, because what we study here in college and what is your work life is very different. They're poles apart. Your books do not teach you what practical life is all about. How do you make money? How do you earn money? That is something wherein you will require your discipline, your focus, your area of interest, your passion. when you have passion for something, then it doesn't become, a task. Then you enjoy doing it. And when you enjoy doing something, then it doesn't occupy your time. Then it naturally flows and you have time for other things also. So it doesn't become very difficult for oneself to realize as to how you manage your work life. Then it is manageable. And after 10 years or 12 years of your career is when you start to stabilize, you grow in your career, you exactly know how do you manage it even better. Then, you have a corporate ladder or you start your business of yours, whatever your area of interest would be. So the point is you need to have passion for what you do, whether it is your studies or whether it is your work life.
That's really wise.
Yeah.
So, let's just assume that there's someone watching this video and they want to become an investment banker. What steps should they follow if they are in college right now?
See, frankly, you got to have the passion, first thing. You got to have the passion for markets. You got to have passion to understand how financial industry operates. And the first step would be to get into commerce, okay, or become a chartered accountant or do CS. Even if you do engineering, you can still become an investment banker. I'm an engineer myself, so I don't see that as a challenge. But that would require more of your, hard work to get into financial industry. Anyone can, if you have the aspiration, you can absolutely get into any industry. So the first step would be to choose the right course if you want to be an investment banker. The second step would be to sharpen your skill set. So study well, understand the accountancy well, understand the P&L, profits and loss. These are very, very critical areas to understand. Then post that, I think, get into the bank, get into the job. So you learn faster once you're on the job, on the go. You got to meet people, understand people, because see, today industry has moved poles apart. From the times of 20 years back or 30 years back, how banking or financial industry used to work, to now is very, very different. Whether you're an investment banker, private banker, or a corporate banker, today is more to do with meeting people, okay, interacting with people, relationship management. And then comes business. So basically, being an investment banker also, you're going to be running your own independent show. That means you're going to be entrepreneurial in nature. And that is how any individual in an organization is supposed to operate. Whether you're into operations or sales or any other area of work, you are supposed to be entrepreneurial on a smaller level to a senior level.
You very aptly covered one side of the coin, which is communicating with people, interacting with people. But on the other side, the part where we talk about finance and economics. So this question is related to that. Since you work in markets and you understand these things, the fly came out of nowhere. But okay, I think the fly is interested in investment banking. You see, so when we talk about finance and all these things, where do you see India? Because you said it has evolved a lot, the market, the way things are being done, right? So where do you see the nation going in the next 10 years?
Oh, I would say it is moving in the right direction, and it has beautifully carved out its position in the global platform and global trade. We have become a very large, economy in the top 4. We are a nation of $1.4 trillion now at present. So if I say India as a, whether in terms of any area, especially, going back in time, we were 60% agri and 40% into other sectors of economy. We have actually transpired ourselves as a huge platform for overseas investors to come in and invest into Indian markets. Okay. That means that we have shown that stability, that trust into international investors wherein they can come, park their money with us, let us, allow us to grow their money for themselves. Which shows that India has a huge momentum which is coming in for the future, and for the new generation for next 10 years is going to be marvelous, because you guys are going to rock it and you guys are going to feel the best of India. By that what I mean is, see, back in days India was very, the salaries were very limited. So how do we identify how the economies are doing? See, there are various parameters, and one of the parameters would be that what is the gap between poor, very poor, mediocre, or rich, wealthy, or affluent people. India, at present, if you see, the spending power has increased. Inflation, of course, inflation is also very healthy in any economy if that helps to increase the purchasing power of the population, which has really improved over a period of time. You see, the compensations in the industries have improved. We used to say that, back in days, that US is the Silicon Valley. Why we used to say? Not just because, it is the IT hub, but it used to give various opportunities to new entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, like, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, right? You go to college, you just create a platform and you become rich overnight. So that something like that has also started to happen in the last 10 years. If you see the kind of new startups which have come, which have become really great, over a period of time. There are hits, there are misses also, no denials to it. Nothing is, solid, or nothing is so risk-proof that there is absolutely zilch, risk associated. So there are wins, there are failures in any industry, and so is these startups. But now the investors are entering and investing into startups because they see a lot of potential. They understand that, there is a growth journey which happens. From starting a business to growing a business to getting listed that business, and it is not a one-day show. It takes anywhere between 10 to 15 years, and sometimes it takes about 20 years. If we talk about Aditya Birla, if we talk about Reliance, for example, Reliance is absolutely in India, made in India, as we call it. Mr. Modi ji says, made in India. So Reliance has also come a big way. Reliance was not a one-day show which happened.
Right.
It took about more than 30 years to come up this big. Who started, Reliance? If you see, it was started by one chemical engineer who understood how the trade operates, how should the trade operates, and how can we materialize ourselves, making profits out of small business. So, small business ideas can really run and completely change the outlook, how any industry can run, how any country can run. So by that what I mean is that small business, when we start, so India is massively into SMEs, small medium enterprises. We are majorly into SMEs and less into large enterprises, which is fine because India is run by small medium enterprises mostly. So these are the backbones for any economy, and especially India is so huge and so humongous that for us to evolve, we will require these SMEs to continue running their show and carve the way for new generation which is coming up. Plus point is that now these SMEs are only becoming bigger because the trade barriers have opened up. People understand how the businesses should be running. Government is supporting. See, and there is a major role in any economy is how the the trade laws are coming in, how they, what is the outlook of the politicians who's running the country, and how can they align the vision for the country with the global trade, global platform, with the global leaders, and then make that work for their population. See, we are not just about 100,000 odd people. We have 1.4 billion population. We are not a small number to manage or handle.
Right.
So when there's a large population wherein, with different sects, with different religions, different belief, to bring everybody on board, even if 60% or 70% population on board with the same vision, it is a task. And I guess we are doing it fine, just fine.
Okay, so talking about these big scale projects, and we are talking about the big leagues right now, right?
Yeah.
The major leagues. But talking about the small businesses or the medium sized businesses, now you see, here I would love a professional's opinion. What do you think of Shark Tank or shows like that? Are they genuinely helping these businesses, or is it like a good thing that they've started it, or is it just a marketing facade?
Whatever it may be, it is doing extremely well.
The show is definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
See, I think Shark Tank is just not existing in India. It is existing in many parts of the
Right.
world. So yes, it is, what it has done is it has created a platform for many different businesses to come showcase themselves. So if you see, it is creating two ways for people, for new entrepreneurs, or maybe for existing entrepreneurs. One, it's a free marketing tool. Many people are watching it. Shark Tank itself is a brand now, right? So when you're coming onto a brand, you become a brand yourself because people want to see you. Second, it has become easier to raise money. If there are professionals sitting on a panel, they can very well understand whether to invest or not. So yes, when there are people who can very well understand and understand the industry and the money involved and the risk associated, I think it does fabulous for the people, for the entrepreneurs who are coming on the show, because any marketing is a good marketing. Even if you are being put down, no harm. People have watched it. What if you can just go online and people start to look for you? What if they like your product?
Right.
So their sales improve. So yeah, Shark Tank does wonders for any entrepreneurs, for any new concepts which are coming in. There are many new things which have come up on Shark Tank which people didn't know, which is already existing in other parts of India. So people from different parts of India come on the show. They showcase their product, and this gives others the opportunity to learn and see that they can also do it. So it's motivation.
So, I mean, based on the answer that you've shared about the government and Shark Tank India also, what I understand and what I observe is that you're a very optimistic person.
Yeah.
So, talking about that, let's just say that, imagine, hypothetical situation, you're on a stage, you have a mic, and you get to say just one thing, and the entire world is listening. What would that one thing be that you'd like to share with the world?
About what?
Anything. If there's something that you'd like to say, maybe you'd like to tell them how much you love them or how much you don't care about them. That's up to you. But I feel that you're very optimistic, right? So you might have something nice to say that might make people feel better about their lives or themselves, or maybe about investment banking.
See, I would just say one thing. Never say impossible. Because impossible itself says, I am possible.
Wow, that's really cool.
So everything is possible. You got to just feel that you can do it. Even if you're not able to achieve it right now, you will still be able to do it. Just have that faith in you. Have the faith and you will run the show. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Just keep taking small baby steps towards your goal, what you want to accomplish. That's it.
I'm a Gen Z, and in our slang language, I'm speaking on the behalf of all the Gen Zs right now. You ate with that answer, so that's really cool. You know what that means? You ate?
No.
It means that the answer was superb. We really loved it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pardon my generation. But now here's the thing. You told me that you read books, right? So would you like to recommend some books to the people who are watching this podcast now? Some books that have really connected with you.
See, I can give, 10 books, names of 10 books. But I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I want to leave it here to everyone to figure out yourselves. You're going to figure out your interest. Management, or whether it is money that you want to make, or whether you want to be an entrepreneur. Figure out what you would like to read. But first, finish your qualifications And yes, reading is a habit you should develop, you should work on it. The only book that I would say is Power of Manifestation. There is a book.
Okay, yes. Power of Manifestation.
Yeah. So, Power of Manifestation, there's this book which you should read, because life is all about big dreams. Unless and until you will not dream, you will not manifest.
So, now that you've mentioned your favorite book, I would like to ask you a question about the OTT platforms. Is there any show or a movie that you really like a lot?
Yes, I have enjoyed watching Suits.
Oh my god, it's my favorite show of all time.
Likewise, I just love Harvey Specter. That man, displays professionalism to profoundness. So he's unmatched, unbeatable. I love his quotes like, life is this and like it this. So this is amazing. 8 shows, unmatched. I would recommend everyone to watch it.
Absolutely. In fact, I did not see this coming, that you'd be mentioning Suits or Harvey Specter. In fact, when you were answering the previous question, the first thought that came to my mind, you remind me of Harvey's girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. Her name starts with D. I don't really...
Dana Scott.
Dana Scott, yeah.
Oh.
He used to call her Scotty. So you remind me of her, because she was the only one who beat him to, a case and everything. And she was the class topper and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have that vibe.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. So now that we talk about Suits, now if there's one thing that you would say that everyone should learn from the show, because of course it's about personality development, it's about how you speak with people, it's about well-written characters, but what's one thing that you have personally learned, and what's one thing that you would want others to learn from that show?
Never give up.
Okay. Yeah.
Just don't give up. Because there's always a way out. Always. Look at, Harvey, whatever it may be is, he has never backed down. So keep at it. There will always be a way which you can find.
Yeah, there was one dialogue from the show where he says, when someone puts a bullet to your head, there are 147 ways but you just need to know one to get out of that situation.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's always a solution. So, what this show teaches more so is, you should have a solution-oriented mindset. So when you have a solution-oriented mindset, you can win anything in life. So always look, there can be massive issues in life in general, in your education also, in your studies, like you would be wondering, what am I going to do once I complete my 3 years of graduation, But life will show you a way, you need to just keep at it. Think about it, there's always a solution to it. So don't give up.
Since you work in management and problem solving and all these things, right? You understand better than anyone else that solutions have to be sustainable, right? If a solution is not sustaining itself, what's the point of it, right? So what would be one advice to future investment bankers or financial sector people or economic buffs that, what is something that they could adapt or do in their life right now to make their career or their quest for finance sustainable?
I'll keep it very simple. I don't like to complicate things here. I'll just tell you, when you take decisions in life, it can be either right or wrong. Like how we all have been taught by our parents, right? How I look at it is, you take the decision, make it right. That's it.
Wow. I'm going to imply that in my life from
today
onwards. Yeah. So that was pretty much it. In fact, it was more than wonderful having this conversation with you.
Thank you.
And this was the first official episode of IILMnary Talks. I hope everyone who's watching this video or listening to the audio enjoyed this conversation. And I look forward to more such episodes. And thank you, ma'am, for being present with us today.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
Really glad. Thank you so much.